chosen one. You didn't stumble across this. Something greater pulled you here. That tug in your chest, that sense that something is shifting around you. It's not your imagination. You're not crazy, and you're definitely not alone. This moment is intentional. This message is personal. You're not just someone scrolling. You're someone marked. There's something on your life that this world needs, and whether you feel ready or not, what's inside you is already drawing the attention of realms you haven't even entered yet. You've been tested in silence, refined in the background. But now it's time to realize you are not average. You are not replaceable. You are called, chosen, and positioned on purpose. So take a breath and lean in, because everything is about to shift. There's a reason you felt unseen in crowded spaces, a reason your path seemed delayed while others surged ahead. That's not coincidence, it's calibration. You weren't overlooked. You were set aside for something exact, something deliberate. The silence around you wasn't emptiness. It was sacred preparation. Your journey hasn't been random. It's been a hidden construction site, building strength beneath the surface before the reveal. Looking for purpose and peace? Hit subscribe and start the journey. While you've been pressing forward in the unseen, speaking to the sky when no one answered, healing wounds without witnesses, there's been a shift occurring beyond what eyes can perceive. Your name is not echoing in social circles. It's vibrating in divine chambers. Movements are aligning behind curtains you haven't even reached yet. Invisible realms have been stirred by your very presence, and now the alignment you didn't ask for is about to become undeniable. You were never built for popularity. You were forged for transformation. And the weight you've been carrying, that wasn't a burden. It was evidence of your blueprint. You're not just here to pass through time, but to rewire timelines. Your positioning isn't reactive. It's intentional. What's been spoken in secret is preparing to surface in unmistakable ways. Unknown leaders, unfamiliar allies, and uncommon platforms are being drawn to what they haven't fully identified, but they feel it. They sense the shift before they see the source. Something in them leans toward you, not because they know your face, but because the frequency you carry matches what's been missing in their own mission. You're not showing up to impress. You're showing up as the missing link they've been waiting for. No announcements are required. No explanations are needed. The force on your life walks ahead of you and prepares the room. You don't have to chase entry. The atmosphere has already been made ready. Influence doesn't start when you're noticed. It begins the moment heaven marks you. And you've been marked. Make your impact eternal. Join now and be a light in someone's darkness. The reason things have felt tight is because your reality is expanding. You're not walking into opportunity. You are the opportunity. You don't arrive to audition. You arrive to confirm. The timing is divine, the placement is prophetic, and the unfolding is irreversible. What was once unseen is about to become undeniable. And when it does, remember, this was never about hype. It was always about timing. Not man's, but heaven's. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Jeremiah 1:5. Imagine a seed buried deep in soil, not lost, but hidden. It's covered in darkness, pressure from every side, no sunlight, no applause. But while it looks forgotten, something holy is happening beneath the surface. Roots are forming before the world ever sees the bloom. And that's exactly what has been happening in your life. You've walked through seasons that didn't make sense. You've weathered storms that seemed too early, too heavy, too personal. And you asked, why me? But heaven's answer is simple, because there's something in you that can't be left exposed too soon. Like that seed, you've been planted, not buried. There's a difference. When God marks someone for impact, the enemy takes notice early, not because you're weak, but because you're dangerous. That turbulence you faced, it's not random. It's not punishment. It's proof. Pressure doesn't come where there's nothing. Pressure comes where there's potential. And let me tell you something right now. The pressure you've felt is heaven's confirmation that your purpose is real, alive, and about to break through. If your heart overflows with divine love, now is the moment to let it shine. Click the super thank you button on YouTube and give $50 or more to help carry God's light to others. Your gift will bless not only your life, but countless others. You are part of His sacred plan. Your kindness may be the answer to someone's prayer. Share your blessings and honor His kingdom. May His grace guide you always. See, people only chase what has value. And just like miners dig deep for treasure, spiritual resistance digs in hard when divine destiny starts to stir. That's what's been happening to you. Before the spotlight ever hits, warfare shows up first. The battles you fought in silence weren't signs of failure. They were proof you're carrying something sacred. And here's the truth. What's in you is not just for survival, it's for transformation. You weren't made to blend in. You were crafted to stand out. The opposition that's followed you your whole life isn't a curse. It's a clue. A clue that something inside you carries weight. And not earthly weight, eternal weight. You may not have had the clarity, the roadmap, or even the support. But what you did have was a spark, placed by God Himself. That spark has withstood crushing, misunderstanding, even isolation, but it never went out. And now, it's catching fire. So don't shrink back. Don't second-guess the stirring you feel. This is not just a season. It's a signal. You are not just a person. You are a move of God. And everything that's tried to silence you has just confirmed the volume of what's coming next. Endurance has become a language, understood only by those formed in silence and refined in obscurity. What others flee from becomes training ground, and that which was meant to crush becomes material for foundation. Unseen watchers, those attuned to frequency more than fame, are drawn not by sound, but by signal. Quiet consistency echoes louder than performance ever could. Those who carry depth don't strive to be found. They become necessary, not for crowds, but for catalysts, not for display, but for destiny. True influence doesn't perform, it transforms. And from within the furnace of adversity emerges a strength that can't be taught, only revealed. The recognition is not summoned, it is inevitable. As elevation arrives, it is not fame that leads. It is a trust placed by something greater. It calls for clarity, bold steps, and unwavering alignment. This season is not for shrinking, hiding, or hesitating. It is for owning what was once misunderstood. The impact ahead demands a presence that's been through enough to no longer chase validation. What rests inside is not a decoration, it is direction. And the world, in time, will follow its compass. Not everyone is meant to be seen early. Some are shaped beneath the surface, far from applause, because timing demands privacy. Hidden seasons aren't signs of delay, but of design. While the world assumes silence means stagnation, something sacred is being cultivated away from noise. Every unnoticed decision, every quiet act of integrity becomes part of a signal no one sees, but many begin to feel. Without changing course or chasing attention, a shift begins, subtle but strong. The air around carries a new tension, almost like gravity tightening in certain rooms. Those in positions of weight, decision makers, thinkers, builders start to notice a name they haven't heard, a presence they haven't met. And though they cannot explain the pull, they feel the necessity. Make your impact eternal. Join now and be a light in someone's darkness. Their attention is stirred by more than credentials. A depth not advertised calls to them. It's not crafted through image, but emerges from essence. They find themselves orbiting a center they can't yet name, moved not by branding, but by resonance. Each is guided by an unseen thread, leading them towards someone who has been forged quietly and faithfully. Movers across fields, those shaping systems, culture, innovation, are prompted to search. They may feel a gap only a specific voice can fill. Doors creak open in unexpected places. Conversations start without a reason. Agreements and invitations come not through lobbying, but by alignment with something larger than plans. They are drawn by substance, not spectacle. What speaks to them isn't noise, but necessity. It is less about gaining reach and more about filling roles no one else can. They arrive not with empty praise, but tangible resources, connections, platforms, and keys to future stages. And yet not every gesture is pure. With recognition comes interference. Imitations wear the mask of opportunities. So the path forward must be walked with clarity and restraint. Every ascent demands greater stillness. This unfolding is not luck, nor clever strategy. It is precision unfolding in its moment. What once was ignored now becomes essential, not because of ambition, but because it was meant for this exact hour. The unseen becomes unavoidable, the prepared becomes irreplaceable, and the hidden becomes the hinge for doors long closed. If your heart overflows with divine love, now is the moment to let it shine. Click the super thank you button on YouTube and give $50 or more to help carry God's light to others. Your gift will bless not only your life, but countless others. You are part of His sacred plan. Your kindness may be the answer to someone's prayer. Share your blessings and honor His kingdom. May His grace guide you always. Some are not simply navigating hardship. They are enduring a battle layered with precision, planned far beyond surface conflict. What rises against them isn't just unseen opposition, but a system designed to distort, redirect, and dilute the force they carry. It isn't just about resistance, it's about recalibration, an effort to detour what cannot be directly destroyed. This is not just a collision with darkness, it's the quiet invasion of influence, wrapped in flattery, of manipulation, dressed as mentorship. The internal shift they embody challenges old frameworks, unsettles familiar hierarchies, and threatens artificial balance. Because of that, not every approach is innocent. Some drawn near are sincere, but others arrive masked, motivated by what can be used, not what should be honored. This moment calls for more than inspiration. It demands internal clarity, sharpened by quiet wisdom. Emotions can't lead the way. Kind words aren't always truth. Every opportunity isn't destiny in disguise. Many will present warmth while watching for ways to repurpose what was never theirs to touch. Some don't want the burden, only the benefits. They weren't there during the grind, so they'll never grasp the cost behind the strength. They seek access, not understanding, control, not covenant. The threat doesn't always announce itself with hostility. Sometimes it smiles, agrees, and applauds, while positioning itself to drain. What appears as elevation can quietly become erosion if guarded poorly. Strategy becomes the disguise for sabotage. Not all threats raise weapons. Some offer contracts, compliments, or platforms. That's why Intelligence of the spirit becomes a necessary compass. What surrounds next will not only admire, but assess. This level draws both alliance and extraction. It is time to protect the core with resolve. Agreements must be examined, not assumed. Connections should be weighed, not welcomed blindly. Every alliance must echo purpose, not just potential. The time spent building can be undone by the wrong yes spoken in haste. No one is called to be a billboard for someone else's empire. This journey is not a shortcut for others' ambitions. It is not a campaign, a trend, or an accessory. It is purpose carved through adversity, withstanding silence and pressure. And now that visibility grows, vigilance must grow faster. The most dangerous takeover is the subtle one, the kind that doesn't stop movement, but redirects meaning. When silence is bought and truth is edited, the assignment is no longer intact. And when weariness replaces discernment, the mission slowly empties out. Remain unshaken. Remain rooted. Let vision filter every invitation. Let time expose every hidden thread. Not all elevation is evil, but not all of it is ordained either. The distinction matters now more than ever. What is being cultivated is more than personal. It is generational. And what rests in the soul of this assignment cannot be passed through unclean hands. The future cannot afford to lose what is being carried. Not now, not again. Some carry a weight, others admire, but cannot explain. Because what is visible now was shaped in places no one was looking. The exterior might seem steady, but it conceals the remnants of battles fought in silence. Wisdom didn't arrive by ease, and strength wasn't born of applause. It was built in seasons where holding on required more than anyone could see. No fast track led to this place. The foundation beneath the surface was formed through private trials, moments of exhaustion disguised behind quiet endurance, choices made when surrender seemed logical. Each step taken wasn't glamorous, it was costly, but it was real. And real always leaves a mark, even before it's noticed. Now something shifts, not by effort to impress, but by essence becoming undeniable. The ones once unseen begin to be noticed, not for noise or trend, but for an unmistakable current of truth flowing through everything they do. There's something alive in them, hard-earned, deeply rooted, beyond imitation. That depth wasn't rehearsed. It was born where no one clapped. Grit refined by struggle. Devotion shaped in isolation. Decisions made with nothing left to give, but the decision to stay faithful anyway. This is not just resilience. It is the rare beauty of consistency without an audience. And now that what was forged begins to glow, attention follows. Not because it's sought, but because it's earned. Those in high places sense something steady beneath the surface, something trustworthy. Invitations come, not because of spotlight appeal, but because truth leaves a signal that cannot be hidden forever. Doors open. Voices echo names that were never broadcast, not because of image, but because of integrity. This recognition doesn't come from striving. It flows from the fire that left behind a permanent imprint. And what was whispered in solitude now resounds in places once out of reach. This is not popularity, it's weight. Not branding, it's legacy. The journey wasn't crafted for stage lights, but for stewardship. No one can fabricate this kind of presence, because what remains after storms isn't borrowed, it's owned. So now, as the world adjusts its gaze, nothing needs to be proven. There is no need to grasp for status. The shift is happening because heaven already approved what earth is just beginning to see. Make your impact eternal. Join now and be a light in someone's darkness. Some aren't placed on Earth to follow the rhythm. They are designed to disrupt the beat entirely. They weren't shaped for comfort, applause, or applause-driven movement. They carry the kind of presence that unsettles structures, unearths false stability, and pushes stagnant spaces into motion. Their existence isn't a response to culture, it's a recalibration of it. They don't arrive to echo what's trending, but to reframe what's true. What they carry challenges the shallow, presses against the familiar, and speaks a frequency that shifts rooms without raising volume. They move with purpose, not confined to personal milestones, but tethered to a larger redirection, one that presses into broken systems and refuses to bow to diluted standards. This weight isn't charisma, it's clarity. It's not about gaining stage time, it's about stepping into voids where integrity went silent. They don't search for influence. They become it, simply by showing up with conviction where compromise had settled in. They aren't groomed for crowds, but assigned to corners where truth once drowned in convenience. The shaping is slow because the mission is weighty. The path winds through obscurity on purpose because what's being built has to survive both pressure and platform. Their role isn't noise, it's narrative. And while some celebrate it, others resist it. But none walk away indifferent. They are placed where balance has been lost, not to adapt, but to re-anchor. Their presence interrupts cycles. Their voice confronts echoes. Their actions expose what was masked by performance. And though they rarely chase the spotlight, they find themselves standing where decisions shift entire directions. This isn't popularity, it's placement. It isn't hype, it's holiness, forged in the quiet. They are not here to conform, they are here to catalyze. This is not about carrying a message, it's about being the message. Their movement isn't for temporary attention, but for lasting consequence. What flows from them carries permanence. Their words are not decoration, they are disruption. What they carry doesn't blend into timelines, it marks them. And when they speak, even those far outside their sphere feel the ripple. They walk through rooms like turning points. Institutions realign in their wake. Ideas shift, not because of how loud they are, but because of how rooted they've become. What goes forth from them echoes in places they've never been. That's the kind of impact no promotion can fabricate. The time is coming when their presence won't just be seen, it will be felt across landscapes. And what's been incubating in silence will rise, not as a performance, but as a pulse, strong enough to awaken everything around it. If your heart overflows with divine love, now is the moment to let it shine. Click the super thank you button on YouTube and give $50 or more to help carry God's light to others. Your gift will bless not only your life, but countless others. You are part of His sacred plan. Your kindness may be the answer to someone's prayer. Share your blessings and honor His kingdom. May His grace guide you always. Some aren't pursued because they seek recognition, but because the weight they carry reveals itself before they even speak. Their presence stirs tension, sparks interest, and draws influence, not because of self-promotion, but because purpose speaks louder than presentation. And in that pull, not everyone arrives with pure intent. Some come to support, others to possess, and many to benefit. Still, attention isn't affirmation, noise isn't confirmation, and the presence of many voices doesn't mean you've reached your destination, because what matters most already happened in a realm untouched by applause. The assignment was written before invitations ever came. No one can negotiate what's already been decided. Their rise is not the result of campaigns or compatibility with systems. It is the outcome of being set apart when no one was watching. They move not to impress, but because they've been placed. Not to be liked, but because they've been chosen. There's no competition when the role was designed with precision. No need to manipulate doors when alignment carries authority. While others rush for exposure, some are hidden on purpose, shielded, not sidelined. Pauses aren't setbacks, they are calibration. Every redirection is a layer of protection. Every closed path is a barrier against misplacement. Every delay is a safeguard from carrying too much too soon. Maturity isn't proven in being seen. It's proven in being still when the unseen hand leads. Now that the time has come, there's no campaign to launch, no need to pitch. The space opens not by persuasion, but by divine sequence. And what's ahead isn't about striving, but about standing, firm, centered, and deeply aware of the cost already paid in the quiet. What flows from this moment won't be shallow reach. It will be structural shift. The calling isn't decorative, it's dimensional. It doesn't settle in for applause. It walks straight into tension with unwavering focus. The voice carried doesn't blend into chatter. It disrupts it. It silences confusion. It restores boundaries. It shakes things loose. Not out of ego, but obedience. And obedience has weight that shifts people, rooms, and timelines. What's sacred must be guarded. Every alliance is tested. Every offer is filtered. This journey can't be shared with agendas disguised as affirmation. The calling is too layered for surface-level alignment. Influence is coming, but so is greater responsibility. Those called like this aren't elevated to impress. They are positioned to anchor, and when it unfolds, it will be clear. The rise isn't the reward. The impact is. Not built for spotlight, but for stewardship. Not placed for decoration, but for dominion. This is not the beginning of popularity. It is the unveiling of authority that has already passed through fire. And now, what once seemed far off will unfold, not because the world crowned them, but because heaven already did.